Men of Reddit whose GF is noticeably hotter than you are, how do you deal with insecurities and jealousy? My girlfriend is freaking drop dead gorgeous and everyone knows it. Despite us being together for a long time, I still can't help but be insecure sometimes that she wishes she could be with someone in her league or me feeling like I'm not good enough. What do you do to help cope with the feelings? I had a girl who was insecure and felt I was out of her league. I found her very attractive. She was slightly overweight, which didn't bother me at all but was a big factor in her self-esteem and confidence. All through our relationship I had to hear, "I'm just waiting for you to get sick of me. I'm just waiting for you to lose interest in me." No matter how much I reassured her I was capable of making my choices, it wore me down. On top of a few other factors, I eventually got sick of her and lost interest in her. So, I had a rough breakup after a multi-year relationship where I ended up moving far from home. For a while I was playing the field pretty hard, but a part of me missed the comfort of having a relationship. Then I met a girl on a dating website. She was from my hometown, and having someone who grew up in the same place as me was pretty nice. Our hometown was halfway across the country. She wasn't exactly classically attractive, but she was cool and had a nice personality and I liked her. But she really liked me, and I could tell she was catching feelings way harder than I was. She struggled with depression and anxiety, and felt like I was out of her league. And not to sound like an asshole, but as far as long-term things go, she was probably right. I think I was more attracted to the comfort of us both being from the same place, since we were both so far from home. Regardless, I started seeing her exclusively, and we dated for a couple months. Anyways, one time during sex she looked up at me and said, "Don't ever leave me, I'll promise I'll treat you so well." I didn't visibly react at the time, but my brain was immediately like, "SHT, now I have to leave you." It instantly burst the bubble that my homesickness has created. So within a week, we were done. And coincidentally, about a month later I met the woman that would eventually become my wife. I know it was hard on her. I was technically her first actual boyfriend. Last I heard she moved back home. I wish her the best, she was a really nice person. But seriously, saying "don't ever leave me" during sex was a huge turn off. I knew right at that moment that I had to bail. "You still finished though, right?" I was like this a bit, but I managed to turn it into something decent. I figured if I couldn't be in her league I could be better at everything else than anyone else, and in that way be worthy of her. So whenever I was feeling insecure I'd choose something I thought wasn't doing good at. Then for the next month or two I'd make it my mission to build good habits in that area. She noticed, and I guess it counteracted my self-loathing because we're married and I don't think she's out of my league anymore. Literally had this come true in a relationship. Had a very cute, sweet BF who was much shorter than me and kind of shy. People always assumed he was my friend-zoned bestie of some sort. I could not have cared less, but he let it get to him. After a while the, "Why are you with me? You're so amazing, blah blah blah" got super annoying, so I had to break it off. If he couldn't see why I was with him, then I started to double guess myself. But I also dated a different guy who was about the same height. He was also cute, funny, and sweet, but he owned it and showed me off like, "Yeah y'all, I got her, and it's great." We dated for years. One of my best friends, a guy, has a wife who is gorgeous, like a million times better looking than him. And we all teased him about it while they were dating, jokingly, as friends do. And as one of his close girl pals, I got invited to his then fiancée's bachelorette party. And we got her really drunk, as friends do. And the way that wasted, beautiful woman talked about my friend, it still warms my heart to this day to know how much she loves him. I remember her saying that she hates the way people tease about her being better looking than him, because she knows she's the one who scored a catch. She talked so enthusiastically about what a great human he was, and how attractive she thought he was. So I guess I would say, please don't let anyone get in your head, not even yourself. If you give people a chance to tell you, I think you'd be shocked what lovely things someone would say about you. Please remember this. You have something they don't. I was with a man I loved for 7 years who objectively wasn't my aesthetic equal, to the point where his friends overtly stated that fact. He ended up cheating on me with a bunch of women in his league to feel attractive. I felt like the most fundamentally unattractive woman in the world, that my adoration didn't matter and he needed theirs. I loved him so GD much, we were going to be married and have a Star Wars Zelda wedding, but his insecurities ruined it. I never wanted another guy until he did that to me. Edit, I don't want anyone hurting for me, this was a while ago now, and the pain is barely there anymore. Just wanted OP to know. I'm a woman, but this is so true, so relatable. My ex was always insecure about not being enough, that someone was going to steal me from him, or that deep inside I don't want him as much as he wants me. Used to think he can't satisfy me because he felt like he was way out of my league. I thought he was beautiful, genuinely. I was in love with his vibe and mind, not some facial features or muscles. Ended up cheating on me too, with someone he thought that was his level. I never wanted, or even fantasized, thought about another man until he did that to me. Some kind of wishful thinking happened, I guess. I did the exact same thing to my ex-girlfriend. She was really attractive, vibrant personality, and I was just an insecure F-boy at the time. Ended up ruining the relationship and cheating on her. No matter how attractive two people are, one of them is always going to have to be the uglier one. I'd rather be the person with the hotter one. You know you are right when you have emoji and don't have tons of dislike LOL. I've been with my wife for 20 plus years. The thing is that while being attractive is a good way to attract someone initially, the longer you're together, the less it means. Don't get me wrong, my wife has aged extraordinarily gracefully, and is in better shape than when we met, but I find it harder and harder to see just her looks. When I look at her, I see every interaction we've had. I see the person I sleep next to, and the person I laugh with. I don't notice when she's having a bad hair day, or when she's dressed just for comfort. I think that the longer you're with someone, the more you come to see the whole of them when you look at them, instead of just the flimsy part on the outside. I hope you see, or are beginning to see, your girlfriend the same way, and her you. To the right person, looks won't matter for long. A few years ago, a female friend of mine told me that women don't put nearly as much emphasis on physical attractiveness as men do, and when you see an absolute stunner holding hands with an average-looking guy, it's because she's discovered something about him that makes him way more attractive than what you can see from the outside. I assume that's not true for all women, but it at least made sense to me when I thought about the times when I've been turned down by a woman, only to have her hit on me full force once I started dating someone else. It's like if another woman finds you worthy, they all go, "Oh, he must actually have something else going on, okay, let's see what's up." Edit, thank you so much for the silver. That's my first award. I'm one of those guys that's definitely punching above my weight. My wife is way out of my league in the looks department and has a better job than me too. I know I'm lucky, but I've never felt insecure because for some strange reason she actually loves me. If I can give advice to the younger fellas that are in my situation, don't act like a jealous dick. It will drive them away. If you treat them nice and love them, they will have no reason to step out on you. Obviously she chose you for a reason, so keep being the guy she fell in love with, and honestly most girls are not as shallow as men and they look deeper than superficial things such as looks. Basically be good to them and let go of your insecurities, and if guys look at them, let them. She's coming home to you. I knew a friend who was drop dead gorgeous, like model gorgeous, and she said that all the hot guys, who people considered to be in the same league as her, were boring as fuck. She said hot guys had the personality of a rock and didn't really have any interests or passions other than wanting to have sex with her. Sure, they looked great shirtless/naked, but when she would try to go on a date with them, they would bore the hell out of her because they couldn't have an interesting, deep conversation. What insecurities and jealousy? I'm a solid 5 on my best day. If I hook someone over that, I won. She chose me. Most women have the potential to date up. If I'm going out with a 7, that means of all the other 5s, 6s, 7s, 8s, and 9s, she chose to be with me. Who am I supposed to be jealous of? What am I supposed to be insecure about? Obviously, I've got something beyond looks that she wants, that's significant. I'm a solid 5 on my best day. If I hook someone over that, I won. This sentiment helps me so much. I have just started dating a guy who is far better looking than me and such an amazing person. We have a really intense and wonderful connection so far, 1 month. But I'm very insecure about my appearance. I'm going to work on changing my mindset about it thanks to this thread and your comment.